All right, welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at different ways that we can divide fractions. Before we get into what or how we actually divide fractions, I want to remind you that there's actually two different types of division. There is what's called partitive division, and then there's measurement division. And the reason that it's helpful to look at these two is it just helps us make sense of how and why we actually divide. So partitive division is like sharing, and this is when we share fairly to make sure everyone gets the same amount. And we're going to use cookies as an example. So to kind of think through this, what we would need is, like, for example here, we have 12 cookies, and we're going to divide it among 2 friends. So what that means is that we're just taking those 12 cookies and we're putting them into 2 groups. And so here we would see that each friend gets 6 cookies. The other way that we can look at division is what's called measurement or grouping division. And then the way that this is different is that instead of making a certain number of, like sharing it between 2 people or making a set number of groups, this is when we are making a group of a certain size. And that size happens to be the divisor. And so basically we're just seeing how many times the divisor fits into the dividend. Looking at that same situation, what this means is we have 12 cookies, but now we're saying that it's 2 cookies per serving. And we want to know how many servings there are. And in this situation is when we measure out 2 cookies at a time. Our answer is still 6, but it's in a different context because now here, this means that there are 6 servings of cookies available. And when we divide by fractions, we're typically looking at more so a measurement type division because we're trying to figure out how many times that fraction fits into our other number. All right, so let's look at an example using a visual model. Masa has 2.5 pints of ice cream in the freezer. The serving size says it's 2/3 of a pint, and we want to know how many servings of ice cream does Masa have. So the mathematical sentence that we're looking at is basically 2.5 pints of ice cream divided into groups or servings of 2/3 of a pint. So I'm going to start by drawing out my picture. And you can use any shape that you want. I'm going to use circles. Now in this particular one, because it's only 2.5, that second side is not needed. And now I'm going to put these into groups of thirds. But the problem is when I come over to this other side, to this half, I can't really make it into thirds. And so what I want to start to think about is how can I make it so that it's easier to identify all my pieces? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 2/3 and I'm going to change it into a common denominator with halves. So in this case, that would be 6ths. And I'm just going to take each of my thirds and cut them in half to make them into 6ths. And I know that 3/6 is the same as a half. Now, the reason that I use this 4/6 is because now that's going to tell me how many pieces actually make a group for a serving. So for example, that would be our first serving. Then it would be 2 more here and 2 for the second one. That would be our second serving. A third serving. Oops. When I look back here, I see I don't have enough pieces for a serving. So at this point, what I've done is I have made 3 full servings, and there are 3 pieces left over that I have not used. So this one, and this one. But our denominator becomes how many pieces it took to make a group. So in this case, because it took us 4 pieces to make a group, we have 3 out of 4 remaining, or 3/4 of a serving. So what this basically leads us to are some strategies through the modeling of ways that we can divide fractions. Let's look at another example. So Yabko is having a birthday party. His parents said they would buy 5 pizzas. He wants each person to eat 2/5 of a pizza, so we want to know how many servings are there. So our mathematical sentence that we're looking at is going to be those 5 pizzas divided into groups of 2/5. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is pause the video and see if you can create a model to represent this situation. All right, so when we look at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out my 5 pizzas. And I'm going to cut each of those pizzas into fifths. So essentially what I've now done is I've created or rewritten that original mathematical sentence as a sentence with a common denominator. Because now instead of 5, what I'm really looking at is the fact that I have 5 pieces per each pizza for a total of 25 fifths, and I'm putting them into groups of 2/5. And then I can sit there and start to mark out my group. So here's my first group, here's my second serving, a third serving, a fourth serving, a fifth serving, and if I had more colors, 6th, 7th, 8th, a 9th serving, a 10th, 11th, 12th. So I was able to make 12 full servings with 1 piece left over out of 2. And another way we could have thought about that is that we're really just taking those 25 pieces and putting them into groups of 2, or 25 over 2, which then gives us that 12.5. All right, so the first procedure that we basically have talked about through our modeling then is when we are using common denominators to divide fractions. If you're going to use a common denominator, kind of like when we're multiplying, we want to make sure change all mixed numbers into improper fractions first. And then you can divide across just like we did with multiplication. So for example here, if I had 1 1/3 divided by 3/4, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change that mixed number into an improper fraction. So I'm going to take 3 times 1 plus 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So this becomes 4/3 divided by 3/4. Common denominator for 3 and 4 would be 12. So changing both of these into 12ths. So times 4, so this becomes 16/12, put into groups of 9/12. And when we divide across, really what happens when we use a common denominator is 12 divided by 12 is 1. So these essentially cancel out, and we're left with 16/9. And then 9 goes into 16 once, with 7 left over. That is a strategy that a lot of students will use. Now, if you talk to your parents, they might actually show you a second strategy. And you might be asking yourself, well, if we can multiply across, why can't we just divide across? So let's try that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1.5 divided by 2/3. Still going to change that mixed fraction or mixed number into an improper fraction. So 2 times 1 plus 1 ends up being 3/2, and we're going to put them into groups of 2/3. Well, the problem is when we divide across, we end up with this really crazy looking fraction of 3 divided by 2 over 2 divided by 3. Well, as you can imagine, we don't want a fraction within a fraction. And so essentially what we need to do is we need to create a situation where our denominator is 1, so we can eliminate our denominator. Because I want my denominator to be 1, I need my top or my numerator and my denominator to be the same. One of the easiest ways to do that is by multiplying by what's called the reciprocal. So a reciprocal is basically a fraction flipped. So if it was 2/3, its reciprocal becomes 3/2. If your number was 5, because it's really 5 over 1, that becomes 1 over 5. And a reciprocal times, when you multiply reciprocals, it's always 1. But because I want an equivalent fraction, if I multiply the bottom by 3 over 2, I have to multiply the top also by 3 over 2. And so here, this bottom part of our fraction, because 2 times 3 and 3 times 2 ends up being 6 over 6, and that equals 1. This all just cancels out. And then we're left with a fraction of just our numerator, which is going to be 3 times 3, or 9, and 2 times 2, which is 4. And then our answer would be 9/4, or 2 1/4. So another way you can look at this is just multiply by the reciprocal when we divide fractions. So for example, if I was, just as an extra example, if I was going to do 3/4 divided by 1/3, you're going to keep that first number, that 3/4, right? But you're going to multiply by the reciprocal of that second number. So instead of 1 over 3, it becomes 3 over 1. And then you're going to multiply across, so this would become 9/4, or 2 1/4 as well. So that's just an example of a second strategy or a second procedure that you could use for dividing fractions. That one is the most efficient way that you can do it, but a lot of times when people use that one, they don't actually understand how it works.